we have decided.
Yes.
The mains for Flame, for me, they're here. But first, we have to talk about how we got here prior to all the tier lists we had regarding mains.
That's kind of important because a lot of people still have troubles. How do you actually end up picking a main? Not everybody, but you know, oddly enough, like still in 2024, 20 years after the game is released, it's still hard to pick a main, and that probably does a lot to show how good the game is.
Yeah, it is very good. Let's get right into it because we had like multiple classes to go through and specs, and we thought about a bunch of different things. Like if you want, you can check out our mains and alt tier list video where we go very into the details of every spec and class. But now we have to talk about like the, let's say, finalists for our picks, right?
The finalists, yes.
Because we had a bunch of specs that we were considering to main in season 1 of the War Within. I was going to say Dragonfly for some reason. It's the War Within, guys. War Within. Okay, so let's kick it off. Flame.
All right.
We start off with you.
Yes.
What were the candidates?
So last time, all the way into the S tier, I had all of the Mage specs. I kind of knew that I was going to main Mage, but
flavor of the month.
I did have Shaman and Paladin as a close second, and as we were testing all of that stuff, Paladin was creeping up, and I was about to message my guild leader to let me swap from Mage to Paladin. Particularly Holy Paladin has been, after the rework and all of the cool testing that we've done also on stream, it's been the most amazing healing experience that I've had in the War Within, and I actually thought I was like, if I do keys,
it's interesting you liked Holy Paladin.
Yeah.
I still cannot wrap my head around what the hell you like about it.
I don't know, man. It's explosive. It's fun. It's rewarding. I feel like I'm actually a Paladin now. I don't feel like
Discipline Priest Flame.
Well, it's for the same reasons you like Discipline, man. It's the same reason why you would like Paladin. You feel like a Crusader, like a melee healer, tanky, and all of that stuff. Fantasy. And I really dig it. I still believe Pro Paladin is my favorite tank in the War Within. So having an off spec in the class is really great. I'm not sold off on Red as an actual DPS main. That probably is a little bit boring.
Which doesn't mean Red sucks. It's really great. Okay, it's just Flame is fucked up in the head, but that's a different story.
We have a video on it. But I did go back to Mage. The problem was what actual spec to main, because there has to be one. I mean, as far as we're concerned, we kind of need one spec to main since we have like a bis list of items where we're, you know, distributing items throughout our raid when we progress through Mythic. So it's important to know which ones I'm voting for. I'm obviously voting for the main ones. And I really, really wanted to go Fire, but it's like all over the place right now. And obviously Arcane is like the new kid on the block. It's the
flavor of the month, boy.
Disco. Well, you say that, but all of the top mages are really leaning heavily into Frost. So, but
I've seen Frost.
Nobody's publicly playing a lot of Frost. Maybe they're hiding like, you guys won't know.
Well, you know, Race to World first is gonna happen, and nobody wants to put out logs with Frost. Mages.
For sure. But that's Frost is fun in AoE. It's fun in Mythic Plus. It's definitely something that I'm going to off-spec in Mythic Plus. Spoiler, it's not Frost. Because the AoE rotation is very fun, engaging, has really cool bursts and combos. In single target, though, I still feel like Frost is kind of like Red. It's simple, it's rewarding, but it just gets stale really quick. It doesn't have any explosive moments outside of the occasional Glacial Spike, and probably we're going to be playing Ray of Frost.
But I like Glacial Spike so bad.
Well, you're going to be playing both. I thought you were going to say some.
No. I'm not saying none.
But that's why I cannot really main Frost. I might off-spec to Frost in Raid if there's this one boss that really wants the mages to be Frost for some weird reason. Like, I'm not opposed to that. I'll also be playing all of the specs. Arcane is a different beast. Arcane is probably one of the most fun specs in the game from all of the reworks and all the hero talents and all of that stuff.
Is it hard to play?
Not anymore. It's a lot easier. I mean, you've seen Arcane. It's very fun. One downside that Arcane has for me at the moment, that might change as we go through the season, is that it doesn't have that much build diversity, especially in single target. You might swap a talent here or there, but the general playstyle will remain the same. And that's kind of like a downside when it comes to my main. And you know, raiding for like 4, 5, 6 months, however long the season is gonna be, it's probably gonna get stale when we do. Remember those 300 pulls on Smolderon?
Oh yes, sir. I remember.
Oh my god! If you have to play a boring spec on that, you'll fall asleep at the keyboard. So I didn't want that to be for Arcane, although I don't think that's still the same. But these have kind of like taken a dip for me. What about you?
What about me? I'll tell you what about me.
Look at that good stuff, man. man.
Listen, man, SteelSeries and Blizzard have partnered up for the WoW 20th anniversary, and they sent us a nice little care package.
Oh.
Now, first of all, we have this, which you don't know what it is. I'm going to show you what it is. It's a mouse pad, and it's SteelSeries mouse pad, so you know it's super giga
Oh, it's one
quality.
of those big ones.
It's humongous. It's ginormous. Let me just show you right now, and you don't know what's on here.
Oh, shit. Oh my god, it has this sword! The money shot of the cinematic, basically kind of like the cover for The War Within. Oh my... Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
you
yeah.
feel
This
it?
is,
You feel it?
this is the stuff. That's the stuff.
This is beautiful, but also we have this little box here, and I bet you wonder what could be in here. Well, let's see, shall we? Because it's very important to open this up and
drop.
You know, Blizzard and SteelSeries have done stuff like this in the past. They had like custom Warcraft keyboards, custom Warcraft mice. Well, they're back at it, homeboys, and let's start it off with the Aerox 9 wireless mouse that we use on the office, by the way, and we're gonna have a video about that as well. This is the perfect mouse nowadays for MMO, especially WoW, and it's branded. Look at this, man. Look at
Dude,
it. Love it and put it there.
It's black and gold. Wow.
You love it. Look, short. Put it over there. Put it over there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. But not only that, we also have the Artist Nova 7 headset, which I'm telling you, this is the most comfortable headset we've used. It's like the most popular thing at our office over here, and it's also branded with Warcraft. It's amazing. All right. Not only that.
Oh, there's more?
There's something else in this box.
What more?
Okay, in here, there's an artisan, let me see, artisan keycap for your ESC key, and I have to show that to the people. I'm gonna put it right here. It's very small. We're gonna make a zoom on it.
Oh, it's a little Sargeras sword.
Yeah,
a little Silithith sword.
Like what sword? That sword.
It's
Put
so
that on an
cute.
ESC key. It's amazing, right? There are partners for a while now, and this was a hell of a surprise. Now listen, you will be able to purchase all of these separately. The mouse, the headset, the keycap, the mouse pad. They're also gonna have the Horde and Alliance boosters, which are interchangeable covers for the Arctis Nova 7 headset. It's gonna be all available at the end of September. But stick around to Marcelian Online, because we're gonna have reviews and proper presentations for all of these. Thank you, SteelSeries and Blizzard, I would say, for sending these over. These are amazing.
I just want to get this over with so I can use those headsets, man.
Well, first of all, I also had Paladin. It was red on the table, as always, because I always main red and rogues and stuff. But red, I had a little bit of a hope with the whole expurgation situation with the talents and stuff, but it really didn't really catch my eye. Plus, the moment they make Divine Hammer work, I'm all in that.
Oh, you and me too, buddy.
Yeah,
Holy shit, that looks so good.
That's the truth, because I played it in Legion, and it was, well, I played a lot of PvP in Legion, but
in
Divine
Diablo
Hammer
too.
was like, it was, well... I never played a Crusader in Diablo, by the way.
Diablo 2?
Yeah,
The Paladin. This is the hammer, then that's the first Inception.
Oh, well, that's not the same thing, because
Oh,
those
yeah.
hammers, you're talking about Diablo 2, those hammers are going all over the place.
right.
For
This
the
is
Divine
consistent,
Hammer,
yeah.
just around you. But
Yeah.
regardless, that was a fun ability. You could cleave like a truck back in Legion, and I was very hopeful for it. But sadly, I don't know, they either cannot tune it right, or they don't know what to do with it exactly at this moment. I know you made a Red video regarding this subject, but it was there. So it was a big contender for me. Red Paladin, as always, in every expansion. At some point in one patch, I will main it for sure once again, because it's my first love. But I do want some more in-depth things tied to it in terms of like its rotation, decision making.
More complicated loves.
A little bit. I'm not talking, super giga up, high APM, old ass arcane mage style. No, but some more, right?
So some outlaws.
Yeah, and then I had Rogue as well. Rogue was also a big contender. I did play quite my fair share of subtlety. I didn't really vibe that much with Assassination, although I do know the rework from Dragonflight was pretty cool, and I know they're pumping right now in Mythic Plus. Outlaw, well, all rogue specs are very buggy, and I didn't really vibe with the hero talents as well. So it was kind of a fight, because I really wanted to start with rogue this expansion, yeah, and then sub, because I was missing subtlety last time I played Outlaw and stuff. So I really missed subtlety a lot. And of course, I had, the DKs where I felt like for the first time I was tanking on Blood and Dragonflight, and I loved it. I loved it to its bone.
Welcome to the club.
It was it was refreshing because whenever I tanked, small amounts of time when I tanked, I either tanked with a Prot Paladin, which we all love. It's great. It has everything, whatever. I tanked on Guardian Druid at some point as well, Vengeance while leveling. But dude, Blood Decay, this I don't know how to put my finger. It is very unique. It's in
its own little box.
I love this independent feeling you get.
I know, right?
Because and that kind of it was there. Plus, the DPS picks, Frost and Unholy. Now, granted, Frost for me, I did try it a couple of times in Dragonflight, and it's a fun spec. I'll give you that. I mean, I'm not gonna kick it off and stuff, but it's kind of like the same story as Red. You mentioned this as well.
Yeah.
I know it's much more reactive now, and you have to be a little bit more on your toes with it. But
you'll definitely enjoy it more in Mythic Plus than maybe in Raids. Yeah. I don't see it being incredibly different in Raids, though.
Okay, so fair enough. So, but it was, it was a choice between, Paladin, DK, and Rogue, and I forgot about Monk. Monk rework was wow, dude. And I didn't play it at first, right? Like, you played it, you made the video. I watched the video. I was like, is this dude for real? Let me check this shit out. And it was bonkers, man. It was bonkers. The thing with Windwalker Monks, why it was the first to get drop of my list is because it's a spec, it's a class and a spec I don't have that much history with, apart from always trying it out in one patch. Talking about DK, this was my last main, so I'm very familiar with everything that's happening, and Paladin and Rogues were my go-tos forever since I play WoW. So Windwalker is still there, but this is like our final decision. This is it. This is final.
It had to go.
It had to go, right? So
what did you land on then?
Well, what do you think I landed on?
I don't know.
I've been praising,
motherfucker.
Listen, I've been praising this spec since I put my hands on it, and it wasn't as great as it is right now, I feel. But yeah, I think it's for no surprise to anybody. I'm gonna make Unholy DK and gonna play the ish out of it in all departments, raid, whatever. Let me tell you, I know the problems with Unholy DK, and I'm aware of them. And
but actually, I don't know what might it struggle with.
There's still an issue now. I don't know how it's going to be with the actual gear from live, but you still have this situation where now, as much as you like to manage your resources and stuff, you feel this overflowing and overcapping. And for playing Unholy DK for the longest time in Dragonflight and always being aware you're becoming super efficient with your resources, now you have to sort of adapt to it's always overcapping stuff.
So you choose what you...
Yeah, it's for me. It's stressful talking to biceps and tails and all that. Says, man, you worry too much. It's not that big a problem. But it's hard to get used to because you always.
That's a shame.
This is and there's still a couple of situations with a couple of talents here and there. So it's not, looking objectively, it's not perfect. For me, it is the perfect spec. However, the thing that convinced me 100% was the fact that it will not be reliant on PI anymore. Unholy DKs to perform now, so it's not as the biggest burst in the world as it used to be.
It's probably still going to be good, yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be very consistent. The burst is going to be good. It's going to be a burst. You're going to see the cooldowns in work, but it's going to be much more consistent, and its cooldowns are going to be aligned way more easier. Plus, the resource management, as stressful as it is for me, it's really, really good for everybody else because you don't really need to pay attention as much. That doesn't mean you have to ignore it, but still. So because no PI, I'm hell yeah, not being based on external stuff. What you play is, what you deliver.
But what hero talent will you go for? What's your favorite one?
Rider of the Apocalypse is my favorite, of course, because come on, man.
Sound the horn of winter.
Yeah, but there's, I'm gonna stick to Rider because at the end of the day, I feel like
for raiding. Oh my God, Discharge.
Yes, well, yeah, but just even in Mythic Plus, dude, the fact that I've been tortured in all of our keys, move being the last one to arrive and stuff.
Hey, where's Marcelian?
Exactly. So it's probably going to be Rider of the Apocalypse for sure, unless it's going to turn out really, really bad. But I doubt it. It's going to be tuning-wise. I think it's going to be.
They're probably going to be close, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. But what about you? What is it?
Well,
I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know what he decided on. I thought he was fire, but he's shit talking fire all over the place. So I don't know what the hell is happening.
I have been simping on Mage ever since it was reworked because I just found it.
Flavor of the month.
Exactly. Everybody's saying, "Oh my God, you're going to play Flavor of the month." Oh, big surprise.
Me too.
But after the recent changes is no longer the case. I am actually going to main fire. Hopefully.
No
And I
way.
did say hopefully. No, fire is actually, I thought for sure, like probably everybody goes arcane, but I just love fire. I still feel like fire is the perfect design spec in theory. It's not perfectly tuned, and you might know that, and that's why I'm still a little bit worried, because the tuning that they've done to fire just make it atrocious right now. Obviously, we're not going to be looking too much at the pre-patch numbers, because that's like whatever, but even on the actual beta, when we're testing it, fire is not it, Chief.
They over-nerfed it, man.
It's way too much. I'm obviously thinking, because we've been saying this in almost all videos, it's gonna be balanced eventually. So I'm here hoping that they're gonna make it not tank level DPS, because it's tank level DPS right now. But I do believe that fire just encompasses the perfect DPS, just like you see on Unholy B as well, where you have different styles of damage profiles. You can go heavier into execute, heavier into single target, slightly into cleave, AoE burst. Like, it has all the tools there. They just need to find a way to actually balance them so they don't turn into like living bomb, where it does like trinket level damage with 8 talent points. That should not be the case. But ideally, it's going to be fire as a main, with always the potential
proverbial move to arcane, because it blasts.
I'm probably gonna keep all 3 specs up to date in case, you know, they take too long to buff fire. I don't want to be, you know, the one that lags the raid team behind, and it would be sad if I would be forced to not play fire, but fire would be the one. And you know, as a caster, and I've mained Warlock in Aberrus, Demo, and Destruction, and I have loathed the hard casting and the excessive movement that was required, and going from that into fire, oh my god, it's basically the beast mastery. You have 3 or 4 hard casts occasionally, you probably have a little bit more, but it has such a big part of its rotation is just instant casts and constant moving all around, plus, you know, with the PvP brain to always jump up and down between casts
and move.
strafe left and right. So it kind of fits the way I usually play, and I think like fire is in a good spot design wise, where everybody probably is just waiting on some proper tuning. And as far as the hero talents go, obviously Sun Fury is probably the coolest looking one when you summon that bird.
The Phoenix?
And they actually buffed the Phoenix's spells where they do relevant damage now, plus juggling the spell spheres is a really neat mechanic that's gonna go around, but you'll probably tap into a Frostfire occasionally. But Sun Fury is where it's at, because Hyperthermia is my new love and mistress.
It's a beautiful thing, and Fire Mage Flames main, but you don't know how it will look in a prediction.
You don't need to
say in the meta. Well, listen, shut up, man. Listen, it's gonna be buffed. I'm sure of it. They're not gonna leave Fire Mage like that. But what you can do is check out how Fire Mage and the rest of the other range DPS specs are going to be fared in our predictions tier list video, which you can check out right now. Go ahead.
Click it.
Go. Did you go?